What's going on, everybody? This is Season 2, Episode 23 of The Weekly Ward. I'm Dan Ward.
I'm the daddy.
The daddy. We're sitting here chilling.
The daddy!
We're gonna be going over a bunch of stuff today. We're back from our hiatus last week. We were in Vegas doing all kinds of things.
Doing all kinds of things with our lives. It was great.
It was great. So we got Vegas to talk about. We got 3 different formats. We're going to get into some spoilers. And then last but not least, finally...
A little bit of silver, maybe?
Oh, I see what you did there. Someone's a little happy. We're going to get into that in a second.
I'm actually exhausted.
Are you?
Yeah, man. I didn't sleep much for like a week straight.
Oh, wow. I know you don't do well with planes, so...
Planes are stressful, yeah.
Plane. You made the plane trip?
I did.
There, but on the way back, not so much.
On the way back, it got delayed because of storms, and then it got delayed. My departure got delayed, and I probably would have missed my flight home if my departure hadn't gotten delayed.
Oh wow!
But it got delayed, and I made it.
I thought I was gonna get delayed as well. There was this storm going on the East Coast, and I left on Monday super early from Las Vegas, and our flight got delayed. I was actually on a flight with a friend, Mike McKinney, and we were sitting in Atlanta and crossing our fingers, and it got delayed for like a half hour, and then we got in the air. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's worse having your flight delayed or being in the air knowing that other flights are delayed and are not going, but you're in the air. And then when the plane starts moving around a little bit, we didn't see lightning. But it wasn't the smoothest ride. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't the smoothest ride either. So
thank you, Steinfeld.
Yeah, silver.
When we landed, or when we were landing in Philly, because I flew out of JFK, and then I flew back home on Monday morning from Vegas to Philly to LaGuardia. Whoa. That was my return trip, but it saved me like a few $100, which I was able to degen off at the casino, unfortunately. But
Aw, Andrea.
So I did that, but that connected me in Philly at 6 o'clock at night.
Sure. Which
was when all the storms and nonsense was occurring.
Okay.
So my flight got canceled from Philly to New York.
Okay.
So I just had to take a bus home at in the middle of the night. It was terrible.
Brutal.
It was terrible.
Brutal.
But yeah, that was what happened, and it was just not great.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we get right into it, just want to thank our sponsor as always, Kerwin's Game Store, the best place in sleeves and gaming. Come check us out on our web store, www.kerwinsgamestore.com. We have right now Hour of Devastation free box giveaway. You can see our tabs kind of flowing here. We've got a sweet new one. Thanks,
look at that
Adam.
awesome promo.
Yeah, nice little promo. So for those of you that this may be your first show, we do this every Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. And barring some crazy event like Vegas, where unfortunately with flying and everything, it kind of takes away from some of the time we get to do that. So definitely, if you're in the need for any gaming,
but how many
stuff,
times are you going to go to Las Vegas for 3 awesome Magic tournaments in your life?
Well, I wouldn't consider them all awesome, but they were definitely cool.
It was certainly one of the coolest Magic experiences outside of the Pro Tour that I've ever been to.
So before we get into this, my question is, what makes a Magic tournament cool and not cool? Because to me it was I played in all of the Grand Prix, and I even played a PTQ on Sunday. So obviously you can tell by that, I didn't have a great weekend.
You played in all 3 Grand Prix?
I played in all 3. I day 2'd the Legacy one, dropped. I got my second loss in Limited one, dropped. And then played the Modern one and got destroyed, by the way. I played Grixis Delver and got just smashed on.
What did you play in Modern?
Modern, I played Grixis Death Shadow, sorry.
Oh, okay.
And then just opened my sealed pool for the PTQ and was like, man, this is cool. I misbuilt. I begrudgingly showed my list to LSV and to Raptor, and LSV just looked at me and was like, you're crazy. Because I put the dragon, I put a Glorybringer in a black-green deck that really didn't need it, but
why don't you just play Glorybringer?
Well, I didn't have enough red cards, so it was just a splash, and I didn't have enough sources. But anyway, I went 4-1, lost to Gary Patrick. Congratulations, he queued for the PT. Lost to Sandworm Convergence both games, and that was kind of the microcosm for my weekend.
I heard that one of the PDQs Must have been the standard one then.
Oliver.
Was won by Oliver Tomiko.
Yeah, Oliver took that one
What
down.
was he playing?
I have no idea, but I would assume so. Steinfield, to answer your question, the RPTQ went okay. I lost a win-in for the top 8 to Landy Ho, so congrats to him to top 8ing. Unfortunately, he lost to my buddy Matt Tomovich and Tumovich.
At the Philly RPTQ?
Yeah, and he went undefeated, so he's going. But, you know, Landy's a great guy, so I was like, not too mad. It's tough to beat turn 4 Glyph Keepers in sealed deck, so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Vegas.
Turn 4 Glyph Keeper off of a Naga Vitalist?
A Vizier, the blue Vizier, the uncommon.
Oh, that's a good card.
Yeah, that card's great. All right, so we'll give a little rundown, I guess, on our tournaments when we touch on each one. So here we are, Calderon's Vegas Legacy. We both played in this tournament. I played Grixis Delver.
So did I.
With a mid-range slant. So
no, you played Grixis Delver with Madcap Experiment in your deck.
It was in my sideboard. I tested it. It's my card, okay? It's my card. It's just my card. I played one round. There it is. There it is. Bang. Hit him with it. Hit him with it. I played one round in a trial on Wednesday. Got beat by Deathblade. Went up to the room and got into a league with 3 Madcap Experiments in my main deck and 2 Platinum Empyreans and 5 Ode. Immediately, I get a message about 6 hours later from one of my friends and goes, guess what? They just featured your deck on MTGO Goldfish. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I decided it was good enough. I moved the Madcap Experiments to the sideboard, and I did okay. I went 6-3. How'd your tournament go?
I went 6-3.
Okay.
I did not have nonsense like this in my deck.
Card was great, by the way. You want to beat a lot of decks, catch them off guard? It's fantastic. One thing it can't beat is a Goblin Sharpshooter, which I found out in the last round. I got Krenko Mob Boss, Skirk Prospector, in like pretty much infinite mana, or as much mana as Goblins ever needs. And then just Sharpshooter just machine guns my Platinum.
Yeah, they make like 7
and then
Goblins.
Kills me.
And then sack them all to make mana, and then kill all your things and play Ringleader, and then get more Goblins and sack them to make mana and kill all your things.
Yeah.
Goblins is great. Jody Keith is great.
All right, let's give the rundown, then you can
I want to
get into your experiences first?
I went 10-5. I played Grixis Delver, pretty stock version. I'm not very good at Legacy anymore. I should have played, and now I was too much of a pain. I didn't want to be a pain and ask for the cards, so I played what I had, but I should have played Stoneblade, and I would have done fantastically.
Probably.
Because that is my jam. Stoneblade's great. But I did not. I did not play Stoneblade. I played Grixis Delver, stock Grixis Delver, and I went 10-5. Got 1 pro point.
Gotcha. That's good.
Yeah, it's great.
Pro point's important.
I needed that pro point.
You did?
I did not, actually. I got 21
Well,
now.
you didn't, but you did at the time.
Yep.
All right, let's give the rundown. Hit him with it.
First place, $10,000. Andrew Calderon playing Death and Taxes.
Woo!
He's a South Florida guy. He's friends with Dave Bauer, a guy who I've known for a while because he played some Magic up here in New York. And those guys are buddies, and Dave was actually in Vegas. It was like his first GP in years.
Okay.
He's a dad and a lawyer and stuff, so he can't really do it anymore. But him and Calderon are friends, and Calderon's been pretty good for a while. And he did great. He managed to take down the tournament, which is awesome. I've known him as like a pretty decent standard player. He played like control decks pretty well.
Okay.
We played control deck and like we played a few times Esper Dragons versus Jeskai or whatever, and he played a control deck and got second in like the TCG player like 50K championship or something that they had a few years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
He lost to Josh McClain, I think. I'm not sure.
All right.
But whatever. But anyway, yeah, he played Death and Taxes, which is a little bit different than what he normally plays, and he crushed with it. So, congrats to him. Second place is Jonathan Semyon, I think is how you say that. He played like the blue-red Price of Progress aggressive Delver deck.
Delver deck, yeah, with
which
one
I think
blood
is a good choice too. Christopher Yali, third place for $2,500. He played Grixis Delver, and he also 12-3 with Grixis Death Shadow in Modern. So he's a Grixis master apparently. I gotta move over.
Yeah.
The new Grixis master in town. The sheriff of Grixis.
I think
is
it's
here.
a little early to proclaim someone the sheriff. We still got, Mr. Corey Burkhart, Patrick Chapin, deep in the tank with Grixis. And you're still, I don't know, you're like Grixis and Jeskai. Like, you're the mix.
Yeah,
you're
I'm just the
mix.
father. And we got Jody Keith, who I know almost didn't go to Vegas, had some family stuff going on, but ended up working out all right for him, and then he made the most of it, and he got top 4 here, and I think he went 11-4 on in Modern as well.
Yeah, I think
so good job to Jody.
He really did. He did well in both tournaments. I believe he was 9-0 in the Modern after day 1.
Day 1 with Spellqueller Jeskai. What a smart guy.
I don't really know too much about him other than the 2 times that I've seen him play. I want to say I was impressed, but I've not played lands at the level of like a Grand Prix level. I've played it before, like picked the deck up and just like kind of played a few games with it. But watching him play against one of my friends in Louisville, and for those of you that don't know, Jody came in 9th on Breakers. He was kind of locked out before the round started, and Dennis didn't know, unfortunately. So Dennis actually got like the pair down. But this is like back-to-back, like obviously really strong performances by him. And he's got to be among the top people playing lands in the game right now.
Certainly a good lands player,
Yeah.
and I might be a decent storyteller.
Okay.
Jody is a storyteller, man.
He's
a
storyteller?
An awesome guy. He's an entertaining guy to be around.
So we could definitely go out for a drink and we'd have a good time?
Oh, certainly.
Oh, great.
He's great.
All right, so back to like the segment a couple months ago. We're like Xing off Ulamog in the club, and we're bringing Jody with us.
Jody is a Magic player I would like to go out on night on the town with. He's a fun.
He had
dude.
some bright shoes on this weekend.
Yeah,
I know
he's
that.
a stylish cat.
Yeah.
He lives. But
All right.
we got Patrick Tierney, 5th place, $1,500.
Master.
Rug Delver.
Master.
Is he a master?
He
Where
is a
this guy
master.
from?
He's from the West Coast.
The best coast?
The West Coast. Some people will call it the best coast. This is his 2nd Grand Prix top 8 in like less than 3 months. He top 8'd Orlando sealed deck.
A limited
and
right? Yep.
Louisville, I believe he was X-3 and lost his winning in for the top 8.
Wow. Okay.
Playing the same deck, playing Timur Delver. And I watched a couple of games this weekend because I was obviously on the fence of going back and forth of different tournaments. And it was awesome. Just watching people play Legacy to me. And I know the purest form of Magic, people talk about Vintage, they talk about like 93, 94, whatever. But like modern Magic, I think like Legacy is one of the purest forms you can watch. And just watching people just masters of the game, like going over one play with him was like, I'm looking at his hand and I'm like wondering why he doesn't play the 5th land for Force of Will.
Yeah.
And like I talked with him afterwards and he's like, it may seem kind of easy for some players, but I don't play a ton of Legacy. And he's like, well, I don't want to play the 5th land because I'm going to reveal that I have a land in my hand, which takes away from a possible card. And he didn't have a blue card at that time, so if he was to play Force of Will, he'd open himself up to Daze, and he was like waiting to draw a blue card. And I just thought that was like, wow, that's really intuitive. And like, not that I would have never thought about it, but that he thought about it that quick and made that decision when he drew his card for the turn.
That's a tough decision.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might just play the land.
Yeah, I think I would too, but I don't know. All right.
I don't even know that his decision is correct, but it is interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, 6th place, Sammy T.
Lock.
Samuel Tharmaratnam.
Lock gold.
Locked gold. He's great.
He is.
One of Canada's finest.
He's crushed me at a Pro
Sam's a
Tour
cool
before.
cat. He is from Canada, but his Pro Tour Team Series team is almost finished. It's him and all the Finnish dudes from the World Magic Cup. That's a strange
great.
team.
That's
but
great.
Good for Sammy T. He's great. 7th place, $1,500. Jacob Haversat. Jacob is from New England, I believe.
Yeah, he's a tournament staple around here.
He's been crushing it lately.
Yeah, he top 8'd in the Open.
He top 8'd Eternal Weekend with check pile, 4-color control, whatever you want to call it, which is what he top 8'd this tournament with. And he top 8'd the Open with Amulet Titan.
Yeah. I see him at a lot of tournaments, so...
Jacob is very good. He went kind of deep in Modern, too. We were sitting next to each other at X2 at one point.
Okay.
I think we were 8-2.
Oh, nice. And last but not
8th
least...
place, Daniel Cathro, $1,500. I don't know what he was playing.
We're going to look
sadly.
right now. Boom. Sneak and show.
Okay.
All right. Well, we got a pretty healthy meta game here. Everything from Sneak and Show to the Delver decks, which we expected a lot of, I believe. Lands, Death and Taxes. I think Death and Taxes, not only because it won, but I think it was a good matchup for this weekend versus the Delver decks. Like, being able to have Stoneforge Mystic in your deck,
Death and Taxes?
Yeah, it's just...
Death and Taxes is pretty good against Delver decks.
Yeah, they're just ready for them. You have swords and that. Lands, I lost to Lands day one. It didn't feel good.
3rd and 4th and 5th through 8th are our flat prize brackets, which is good.
Okay, that came out of nowhere. We're talking about prize brackets, all right.
It's something we've talked about before.
Yeah, all right. You want to get into it?
The annoyance of them paying like $6,000 to 5th and or whatever, you know, like $10,000 to 5th and $6,000 to 8th or whatever they did.
Oh, for the PT?
Yeah, it's nonsense. I like this flat prize brackets. You know, I wish people got a little more money.
Sure.
Because, like, it's pretty frustrating. Like, people missed cash. I mean, the Modern GP extended prizes because it was so big that it went down
over 2,800.
to
right?
one. It's over 3,000.
Okay, $29.99.
Yes, $29.99.
Feel
Plus
like
shipping and handling.
Car salesman.
Yeah.
Come on down, $29.99.
Yeah, shipping and handling, no down payment, daddy. But yeah, so that tournament paid down to 180th, and people got 70th at X3. I think
Jeez.
X3 would have missed cash had they not extended it.
No, I believe it. I'm sure they're... I'd have to go back and look, but, like, even X4's, like, we talk about this a lot, but it still bothers me every time, like, we bring it up. X4's not cashing at Grand Prix are just, like, I don't know, it's, like, it's really
like,
bad.
X4's not cashing at Grand Prix is bad, but is not, like, a monumental injustice.
Sure.
A monumental injustice is a 3,500 person Grand Prix where 180 people get paid. Literally 5% of the tournament got paid.
Yeah.
I finished in like the top 2%, and I got 1.5 buy-ins back. You know, I got the tournament cost what, $100?
Yeah.
$250. So I got 2.5 times my money for being better than 98% of the people in the tournament.
Yeah. It's not good.
That is crazy.
I know.
That's just really sad.
Think about all the people that did in top 8 too. Like Legacy, it wasn't as bad, but in Modern, I'd have to go back and look, but I believe there was at least 10 people that were not in the top 8 that had X and 2.
That's terrible.
And you're talking about like if they fall out of the top 16, and you're X and 2, and you get $500 as opposed to X and 2, and you get $10,000 or $1,500 or $5,000.
You and I were talking about that on Sunday. It's like it's really frustrating that someone can have a record of 13 and 2 and end up getting top 32 prize, like $500.
Yeah. Whereas
you can have a record of 13 and 2 and get $10,000 first prize.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
Which is crazy.
There's no doubt about it. All right, let's get on to the next one. Oh, look at this.
Well, that's not the next one.
The next one is
Boulevard!
Tiago! You know what?
Tiago's
just like, my deck is bad, my deck is bad, my deck is bad.
I know, I saw him on day 2 and he said,
crushes.
I said, how are you doing? And he said, I have a draw. I'm X, 0, and 1 or whatever. And I said, all right, good luck. And he said, I need it. And then he won the tournament.
Yeah. I called shots after day 1, saying he was going to win the tournament to the guys in my room. I don't know how much credibility I get because I also called shots.
Look at this stacked tournament.
Yeah.
Steve Rubin of the beautiful haircut. Sam Party, a very consistent wizard, one of the best around. Cuneo, Siggy, and then 3 people I don't know.
Okay.
Paul Her, Bolin Zhang, and Zhu Main Chen. Okay.
Both, well, I should say, Steve, Thiago, Andrew, and Mike were all... Andrew, Steve, and Thiago were undefeated after day 1. Mike had 1 loss. I'm not sure about Sam. Yeah, I know, Andre. I didn't say I would top 8. I said that I would qualify for the PT, and I didn't.
You did not? You didn't even day 2?
No. I didn't.
That's poor.
I know. But it didn't matter.
You have a rough
It didn't matter. Yeah, sometimes you have a rough weekend, but even if you day 2, like, I would have still played the PTQ. If I was X and 3, I would have dropped to play the PTQ. If I was X and 2, I probably still would have dropped to play the PTQ. It really depends after day one how I felt about my deck. And I wasn't a real... Yeah, Andre's letting everyone know. I wasn't a real big fan of Grixis Delver. Or Grixis Death Shadow, excuse me. I think the deck's really powerful.
Either. It's a hard deck to play.
It's a hard deck to play, but I mean, there's just so many sequences where I lost because, like, I had to play the deck the way the deck plays, and I lost because of it.
Playing a hard deck to play is not necessarily a bad thing, but, like, it's a hard deck to play in a weird way. It's like playing it and mastering its trickiness doesn't allow you to have, like, any more advantage. It's just like if you don't play it optimally, you just don't win.
I guess off topic here, consider why. Yes, if anything ever becomes missing at a tournament, you should just definitely give the store a call, including our store, and let us know exactly what's going on. And this way, if the cards come up, someone finds the deck, or someone tries to sell us the deck, we can kind of take care of it from,
that
standpoint.
If a buddy had his deck go missing at your store from a tourney, can he call the store and have anything done? Is this like, I know, but this is like a hypothetical question or an actual question? This is a weird question.
I don't know. I think it's a real question because it says at your store, like at the end.
Yeah, you can certainly call the store and have something done about it. There's like cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
Yeah. So back to the Grand Prix. I'm not surprised that this is like super like stacked because here we are. We're at the end of a format and like a lot of the things are solved. I want to say or are close to as solved as they're going to be. And all of the players that are in the top 8 that we know as professional magicians are not only just good magicians, but they're all really good at limited.
Yeah, especially...
especially all.
All of them, yeah actually.
Like, they're just they're all really good. And Thiago, it's interesting. All of his decks, he also top 8'd Grand Prix Orlando this year, and all of his draft decks have been black-red.
He also top 8'd Richmond.
Oh, Richmond, excuse me, not Orlando.
He didn't top 8 Orlando?
I don't think so, no. Richmond he did, with black-red as well. And all of the decks that I've seen him draft have been black-red, and I don't know if that's, just the style that maybe a lot of people have been tied up on going, white-red as being the best deck, or I want to do, blue-green rampy stuff.
I don't think he should ever do that.
He's figured it out.
I think the best decks are, white-blue and red-white. But I don't know anything.
Yeah, you don't.
You don't know anything. Fidget Daddy.
What do we got? We got any top moments before we move on?
You want to see the top?
Bang! There they are. Ah, all right. We got some sweet picks here.
Wait, who are those people? I don't understand what's going on.
They're just the top moments. Venezuelans.
Oh, the Venezuelans? All right.
And then the Scotsmen.
Scotsmen, all right.
Little Dan Wren here. Awesome. Know him. All right. And let's get into Mr. Manny. What a weekend. Manny, Benyu. We just had a lot of good things going on. It was great. All right. Hit him with that rundown.
First place, Affinity Wizard Manny Devuti with $10,000. Also very active on Facebook. I know his name long before I ever knew the face.
Yeah, he's... I don't know if he's
Vancouver,
exactly from, but he lives in Vancouver.
He lives in Vancouver, for sure.
And he's a Vancouver advocate. Just being great in Vancouver.
Second place, $5,000. Theo Mary?
Yep.
Theo Mary? I'm sorry. I believe he's French or French-Canadian.
Not exactly sure, but...
I butchered that. I'm sorry. Third place, I actually got that shirt. I had some prize ball tickets. I got that shirt. Benjamin Corsi. I believe Ben's a judge.
He is a judge, and yeah, he's
got a really fancy affinity deck from what I've been told.
Okay.
And he did well with that. So congratulations, Ben. I think this is his first GP top 8.
Yeah.
Good for him. Fourth place, $2,500. Alan Wu, another robots player, right?
I believe so. There was three robots players.
Matt Sorensen played Eldrazi-tron. Fifth place for $1,500. Sixth place, $1,500. Craig Wesco, Green White Hate Bears.
He just keeps playing Loxodon Smiters and Voice of Resurgences to victory.
It's just so bad.
I love it. I love Loxodon Smiter. It's great.
But he's so great, it doesn't matter. Seventh place, $1,500. Daniel Wong. You guys know what he was playing, right?
Blue-black turns.
Not only was he playing blue-black turns, he was playing quadruple-sleeved, foiled-out, fancy blue-black turns.
That's a lot of sleeves.
And eighth place, $1,500. Paul Peterson, who
hey, appreciate the follow.
in his top 8 profile said
Thanks a lot.
audible last minute
424.
back to Burn, which he was very comfortable with,
Okay.
and smashed the tournament, obviously, in top 8. Good for him.
Yeah, that's gas. Really happy for Manny. He won a game where he mulled a 4.
And his 4 was like land, plating, etch champion.
That's pretty
and he
good
ripped
4.
the land and went. "Jah!"
To answer a couple questions, Boggles, I don't think it's good right now. There's too many bad matchups, unfortunately, and more importantly, there's not a lot of free matchups. And yes, Blessed Alliance does hurt a lot. Ceremonious Rejection is a must right now. Agreed. I'm kind of surprised, and this kind of ties in with your comment, King O'Malley. Like, Affinity did really well in this tournament. I was scrolling down the top 32, and there were multiple Affinity lists throughout.
I played against it like 5 times.
And that's just surprising to me because, like, whereas I could see it being a good matchup for Grixis Death Shadow, like, it's a good matchup for Affinity.
I don't
Like,
think it actually
Ceremonious Rejections are, like, so hard. So I think it is. I think that the problem is Etch Champion's almost unbeatable. But the other problem is this. Death Shadow has to use his life as a resource.
Mm-hmm.
And when it does that, Affinity can just, like, put stuff on the board and then wait for the turn to just kill.
Yep.
Which is really dangerous with Cranial Plating because then the Grixis Death Shadow player can either choose to advance his board, or keep up mana.
Yep.
And then you can't usually do both. And depends on some of them. We can scroll. You said you wanted to look at Benjamin's list. Some of them have Blood Moon. Look real quick. There's the little Hate Bears.
What a strange deck.
Yeah, Jesus.
Mono white Hate
Mirren
Bears.
Crusader. That's a good card for this weekend.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at Ben's list.
You know what Mirren Crusader's really bad against?
What?
Lightning Helix. You know what card I played 4 of? Lightning Helix.
Lightning Helix.
I don't think I could lose to this deck. Maybe I could.
All right, we got Insoul Artifact. You were talking about some weird stuff. I'm assuming you're talking about Ornithopter and Insoul Artifact.
Darksteel Citadel Insoul Artifact.
Yeah, that's pretty hard to beat,
At
too.
X and 3, I believe it was 10 and 3, I played against Japanese gentleman
Okay.
with like a foiled out Japanese Affinity deck.
Okay.
And he had Insoul Artifact in his deck. He also had Shrapnel Blast and Galvanic Blast.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I like this. I like Insoul, especially versus Grixis Delver, because if you get it down on the Darksteel Citadel, it's just blocking the Death Shadow forever, blocking every creature. They don't have a way to deal with it, right? Because they have no enchantment removal. So that's kind of interesting. I guess we don't have any Blood Moons in the sideboard. I'm a little surprised about that.
No, but lots of counter. Look at it.
Yeah, a lot of counters. Spell Snare, Spell Pierce.
Why Spell Snare? What are they countering?
It gets the front half of Ancient Grudge, but that doesn't seem worth it.
That's not why they're doing it. That's cool, but that's not why they're doing it.
Yeah. Eidolon, they don't care about that really, right? Maybe?
I think so. Snapcaster Mage, maybe?
Yeah, but against Grixis, it doesn't hit that many cards. It just hits, like, Snapcaster Mage. Like, that's, like, it, right?
Oh. Stony
Silence. Yes, we both came to it. But isn't, like, Spell Pierce just fine and just better in all situations?
Well, you also could just counter, like, a Tarmogoyf, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know if this deck... I don't know if the Etched Champion Insoul Artifact deck cares too much about Goyf, but I guess if they're running Tarmogoyf and there's a chance they have Abrupt Decay, that can be kind of an annoyance.
Scavenging Ooze, something like that. Catch Me Outside, Ooze's daddy.
Oozes.
Ooze your daddy! Ooze your daddy!
And here we're looking at Manny's list real quick.
A more normal list.
Yeah, we've got the one Welding Jar. I like that.
Ooh, Dispatch is a good one against Death Shadow.
Dispatch.
Nice. Death Shadow, bro.
Get out of here.
Dispatch.
Cage. We got more. Yeah, this is more traditional. But yet again, we see them going away from Blood Moon, which I'm kind of like, it's interesting to me because Blood Moon's like the lights out card versus Grixis Death Shadow, and also very good versus the Eldrazi Tron.
I don't think it's lights out against Grixis Death Shadow.
Well, you don't have to think it for that to be true, though.
I know everything.
When you tap out turn 2 to like do something, and they have like Springleaf Drum in play, or God forbid they could do like, I think there's the way they can do turn 1, but turn 2 Blood Moon, and you have like just like a fetch land, and you did like a Serum Visions, the game's just over. Like flat. Daddy dead. And yeah, I would assume they're still keeping in the hand destruction, but the hand destruction is definitely not as good versus affinity as it is versus other matchups. So I don't know. I think it's worth a slot, maybe a 1 or 2 of, but. Oh yeah, it does. There you go. There's another one. Copy is Fuego. Counters E onto the spell snare.
That's sweet.
But yeah, congrats to the daddy for silver. We're getting a lot of silver love today.
Because daddy great.
Silver love.
You were silver this year, right?
I
But
was,
you're no longer
and I
silver.
am silver this year. Until the
like
Pro
3
Tour
weeks.
Kyoto. Then I will lose my silver luster
And then
and
I
become
will
more of a
ascend
a-
to the silver pantheon of daddiness.
Oh my God! The
Yo, imagine if
pantheon
someone
of
was.
daddies.
Imagine if like one of the teams like was just like, "Hey, you want to be on our team because you're so good?" And I was like,
No,
"Nah, the daddy rides alone."
I'm sure they're all gonna jump at the bit now because that's what you said you're gonna do.
I'm sure they will. Be like, "Hey, do you
What
want
if
to
the
join?"
Pantheon's like, "Hey, we need a daddy"? Would you join the Pantheon?
I might. I don't know. You're required to be like a real person if you join a team like that. You're gonna be like, hey, you need to like have all this money, like for to stay in some exotic location for like 2 weeks before each pro tour, and like you have to show up on time and like contribute and stuff. And I'm like, nah, I just want to be like 40 minutes late to everything, smoke a bunch of
Sure.
cigarettes, and live life.
I'm 3 points off Steinfeld, but 3 long, hard points.
3 points that you can't get, right?
3 points I can get. I can get at any Grand Prix I participate in. In fact,
Wait, you
segue.
have an open cap?
Grand Prix Cleveland this weekend
I don't understand.
with myself, Nate Barton, and Chris Giuliano, masters of the game in their own regard. We will be traveling to the land, aka Cleveland, to participate in a Grand Prix team limited event.
Are you going to defend the land?
No, but I believe Cedric's going to try to defend the land. We're coming in hot, and
Cedric tried to
get in there.
defend his dignity with fairies this past weekend.
Fairies is great.
And I was rooting for him so hard, and then his opponent played Gear Upper Ether Grid,
Okay.
and that was it.
Okay, we got a question. How easy are the opens that happen at the same time as the invitational, I'm assuming?
Invitational opens are pretty easy.
I'd say
They're definitely the softer ones you can play in.
yes and no, though. Because what happens is, like, especially now, it's going to be interesting for this one because there's going to be so many more people coming to this invitational based on the prize pool, etc., etc., that with a split format, there's going to be a percentage of very good players that just don't make day 2. Or that limp into day 2, and that means, like, I guess the invitationals you always stay in because you could just, like, go on or tear the second day.
Derek, I was 8-0 at one last year, if that's any indication.
Oh, my God.
Hey, you beat me.
Yeah, you
Daddy
did.
was slain. Although I did top 8 one of those opens with only 1 loss, which is just an insane statistic. I'm not that good.
Yeah. But you are good at a couple things.
And one of those
Interrupting
things
me is definitely one
was
of them.
playing Jeskai, which is
Yeah.
what I did in that open.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we're moving on then. We're gonna get to some spoilers. So feel free. We don't have polls for this week's episode, but feel free to shoot some into the chat. We'll try to do the best we can at getting to most of them. And we're gonna start off with the Locust God.
But yeah, Alex, to wrap up quickly, those tournaments are a little easier, but they also can be harder because all the good players are going to be there. So, like, because all the good players are going to be there, versus an open where, like, 5 or 6 of the best players might not travel to, this one, they're all going to be there pretty much. So, all the good players that don't make day 2 will be at the open. So, they're both harder and easier. If that makes any sense.
I like that. Locust God.
Look at the invocation of it. What is the invocation of it? It's creepy. It's like hiding in the thing.
I love how this is just
This
like
card's
blowing
broke.
your mind. It's
This card's broke.
Okay.
Imagine if you could still marvel into this card.
Yeah. I don't think that's that great. 4/4 for 6 mana. That flies. Whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 blue and red insect creature with flying, and it has haste.
You play Marvel on turn 4.
Okay.
On turn 5, you spin Marvel. You hit this. You play a land. You play Glimmer. You make 2 guys. and then you cycle and make 2 guys, or you make a guy, and then you attack their planeswalker with all of those.
So what you're saying is the reason why they banned Marvel was not Ulamog. They were getting ready for Locust God.
Oh, people would certainly have been marveling into this thing. This thing is crazy.
Yeah.
Casting it is another problem entirely.
I just think this card's really sweet with the new the Sphinx Rev. Just like play this on 6 and then draw 5 cards. It's like kill them in 2 turns.
Yeah, like it's really good because normally you will lose ground on the board when you take turns off to draw cards.
Okay.
But this like stops that, but also this costs 6. And the turns you need to draw cards are like turn 4, turn 3, turn 5, like all the turns leading up to this. like this, I don't think this is better than Torrential Gearhulk.
Yeah, somebody just put in the chat, New Perspectives finisher. That's pretty true. It gives haste. That's a real deal.
Yeah.
Could see
I mean,
that.
it's not a New Perspectives doesn't need a finisher. They just win the game
Yeah.
with Approach the Second Sun.
Yeah. It's true. Maybe having another way to win though. is
Can
not a
we
bad
ramp
thing.
this thing out? I'm interested in doing that.
Maybe. We've got obviously.
Can I
Mana Dorks.
reanimate it?
You got to call up Seagal and see if he's going to put this into the Hedron Archive deck.
I
Play this on
wanna
turn
put this
5.
back into play with like
It's kind of broken actually. You
Rise from the Grave. Is that card legal?
Rise from the Grave. Yeah, it's still legal. I'll just
Liliana, Death's
Liliana.
Majesty. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm gonna reanimate this thing with Liliana.
Well, you could
Death's
play it
Majesty.
off of the Hedron Archive and then sack the Hedron Archive the following turn to get 2 flyers, which is kind
Okay.
of cool. That's kind of cool.
That is cool.
But yeah, Legendary God. What do you think about the interesting line? When they die, they come back to your hand at the beginning of next end step. So they're not indestructible. Obviously, can still be exiled, but a little different line.
I mean, what if this was indestructible? Look at it.
I'm just saying. Have you read Ronus?
I think Ronus is unplayable.
You're crazy.
Or borderline unplayable.
You just said earlier you love Ronus.
Because you call it the Vacuum God and giggle.
What? I never said any of this.
No, that's what I do. That's why I'm saying that's why
So
I
you
love
just
Ronus.
said I just said that though.
That's why I love it. The Vacuum God.
Oh my god, the Vacuum God. Ronus is great. All right. So this
Someone
card
who's like Rhombus.
So this guy's
the Indomitable.
this
Rhombus.
guy's playable. Definitely. You think it's going to be more than playable? You're giving it the daddy stamp of approval?
I don't know how to cast it, but provided that someone can figure that out, I think it's playable.
Okay. Fair.
It's certainly playable. It's just like I don't know where it goes yet.
We got to bring this guy up. I saw this and I was pretty happy. The
Cat Tribal.
cats are bad.
Wait, can I finally say it?
Without yawning, I don't know, man.
Oh
You
man,
need, you need a bowl.
I need
Get the bowl.
nighttime. I was up late finishing my article. Minimal sleep. No, not your article, Production Manager. My other article. But yeah, this is the Cat Daddy.
The cat. Are you gonna do the cat daddy?
I was just saying
The
the
Cat
Cat Daddy.
Catty daddy.
Cat Daddy. The ball bearing in my fidget spinner is broken and life is really looking grim. Cat McGoy? I don't know about that.
I don't know either, but this is interesting. So obviously we want more cats. Putting 2 cats into play for 1 white seems really good. They have lifelink. But realistically, is this too...
First open where Hour of Devastation is legal.
You're going to play it?
Cat Tribal.
You're calling it? What about those cat sleeves now from SEG? The cat and the mouse?
I mean, there's a lot of cute cat sleeves.
Yeah, they're going to be...
I got a kitten
At a
sleeves already.
premium.
I got several kitten sleeves.
All right, you're over it. I'm over it.
This
Pride
card's
Sovereign.
medium. I don't know. It's probably good.
It's fine. I don't think it's going to be a standout all-star. But also, like, the 2 tokens is real. The problem is, like,
This card's
it just...
good value if it makes 2 1/1 lifelinkers for, like, and eats a removal spell.
Yeah, I just don't know if it's good enough on its own, though. The problem is, like, you put a 2/2 into play right now in Standard on turn 3. That, like, if you have no other cats, it's just a 2/2. Takes a turn to do that. Like, all the other 3 drops are just better. Like, even uncommon 3 drops, we're talking. Or Rogafine, or Rovertroso. They're just better. So,
Better than this?
yeah.
It's a Cat Lord!
It's not a Lord, first of all. But it's a cat.
Well, there's probably a Lord coming down the pipeline. Because Regal Caracol's not really a good Lord.
The Caracal.
It's a 2-mana Cat Lord, green white for a 3/3.
Yeah.
All other cats you control get +1/+1.
Fleece Mane Daddy.
Tap 2 untapped cats you control. Target cat gets hexproof until end of turn.
Not happening. Not happening.
That'd be
Not
great.
happening. All right. So the Rock had his touch on the set. Here we go. The Scorpion God. I love this. Where oh yeah, there he is coming out. Boom, boom, boom.
Coming
boom,
out of
boom.
my tomb, and I've been doing just fine. Because I want it all.
All right.
Wait, give me the invocation again. What is going on in his life over here?
He's crawling out of the cave. It looks
Coming out
like
of a tomb.
Tomb.
Coming out of a pyramid.
Would this been a good one for them to do the invocation of Tombstalker?
They could do Tombstalker's invocation. I kind of like that.
I love these. The more I see the invocations, I love them. All right, Scorpion God, 6/5 creature, legendary god. Whenever a creature with a -1/-1 counter on it dies, draw a card. I'm in. I like that. 3 mana, put a -1/-1 counter on another target creature. So the cool thing is it could be your creatures or their creatures. So if you play any of the creatures that come into play with -1/-1 counters, that's kind of cool.
So let me tell you something.
Okay, tell me something.
We've got the Locust God. We've got the Scorpion God.
Who wins in a fight?
Locust God is red-blue. Scorpion God is black-red.
Okay.
I'm going to make a prediction that's not really that hard to make.
Okay.
I think there will be one more god, and it will be blue-black.
Okay. And what is it going to be called? We have Scorpion God and Insect God. Swamp God?
Scarab God or something like that?
Scarab God. Okay. All right.
It's blue.
So
no,
they're just taking everything from the mummy.
It's a water. A
water bug?
It's gonna be
a beetle?
Yeah, blue-black Scarab God. There we go. That's what it'll be.
Scarab God.
Croc God.
Yeah, but Ronus is there.
No, it's gonna be an insect. It's gonna be an insect
Ashiok. Okay.
because of Scorpion and Locust. Pictures of a scarab are already circulating. Daddy can predict the future.
Or you're just saying outlandish stuff that makes sense.
I am Scarab God.
So 5 mana. This guy.
Stormcrow God. Was that Stormcrow invocation real?
I hope not.
It was probably fake, right?
Yeah, it had to be fake.
Spider God.
So as far as playability on this card, what do you think?
Frog. I think that it's hard to figure out where it goes, but I could see this being like a finisher in like a Junder Grixis deck,
5 mana is a lot though.
or like a card that like Black Rain Delirium Splash or something.
I don't know.
This card is sweet.
Is there going to be more creatures that are playable? Like, let's say the 5/4, the 5/4 zombie beast that comes into play with -1/-1 counters. Is there like a deck that maybe just features a lot of cards that come into play with counters, so that you can just like draw cards when they die, but also be able to put counters on your opponent's creatures? Or is that too outside the box, maybe?
What, like crocodile your own things and draw cards?
Yeah, like you play, cards like Scrap Heap Scavenger or the Harvester, and like you play the early beats. When they don't block, then you kill your own creature and draw a card, and those cards come back. So it's like pretty good value there. Maybe too much?
I don't know. I'd rather kill my opponent's things and draw cards. Oh, the MTG story says it's a Scarab God. How smart am I? Isn't that crazy?
You're so smart.
You're
Cody.
probably not very happy about this derailing of the show, but whatever, man.
I'm always happy just because I get to spend so much quality time with you.
I am the Scarab Predictor, the Great Scarab Heralder.
All right, Scarab Predictor.
Wait, we got stuff going on here.
Nope,
go up,
sorry,
go up,
you're
go
not in
up,
charge.
Go up.
Bang.
Good.
Just good.
That's my take.
Just good.
Really good.
Really
Pushed.
good.
Not
Pushed.
Fine. It just
I'm
destroyed.
just glad that finally Red has a way of dealing with an artifact for 2 mana. Like,
Good.
are you kidding me? We had an artifact set and we didn't even have Shatter. You had to play green to play Artifact Tape. What is going on? Can we get a pillage, please?
You know what's really funny? When you're playing red and you think that you can finally deal with like the wealth of things that your opponent has to offer, and then they play Gideon Outlands Zendikar, and you're just looking at this like, okay.
Yeah, this.
I can't wait for that to rotate.
That's medium. That is medium.
What is that? What is that blue-green thing?
What?
This.
That? What? That one?
Yeah. Reason to live. Sorcery, Scry 3.
Oh, great. This is the card
Remember
we were
when we
talking
were like,
about.
oh, would this be playable?
This would be playable. Scry
Aftermath,
3?
Look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you may reveal it and put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put that card into your hand.
Okay, so we got a new way to put Ulamog into play. Oh, this
But
is great. It doesn't,
You can cast it.
It doesn't trigger.
Reason
I
to
know.
put Ulamog into play and make everybody quit.
Put it into play. It's a sorcery, so.
What
know,
are
they
the
could deal
thesaurus?
with it.
What is Thrasios Triton Hero?
Are you?
Oh, it's a commander
It's
card.
a scry card.
Michael Segal had this card in his sealed deck at GP Detroit, and it was so stupid and bad. But he actually won every game because of it, and it was great. If that
The
makes
card
any
was
sense.
good. The card was just good. You're drawing lots of cards. Drawing cards and sealed are good.
What else do we got here? And the split cards. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about this one.
I don't want to talk about that card. I think it
Yeah, I know.
sucks.
That's why I clicked on it.
All right. You may play land cards from your graveyard. Wait, I just lost my mind a second. I read the card. It said you may play land cards from your graveyard. I read the Oracle text. You may play land cards from your library. Which one is it? It's graveyard, right?
Yeah, it's got to be graveyard. The reason why I like to bring this up is because there is a the theme of lands is deserts. There's a couple cards with sacking deserts and getting deserts in the graveyard and that kind of thing. So I think, like, obviously this is kind of a cool thing. It's like a creature with Crucible of Worlds effect. So, yeah, I just think it's a cool card. I'm
It's an
excited
interesting card
to see
for sure.
what people are going to do with it. All right. Which one did you want to choose so I can choose a different one? You see how this goes? It's great.
I'm just looking around. I haven't really looked at
All
it.
right, well, while you're looking, let's talk about this one. Dream Stealer. 1/2 menace, 2 and a black. Whenever Dream Stealer deals combat damage to a player, that player discards that many cards.
What is Eternalize? What is going on?
So, Eternalize, when you thought it was going to be indestructible, instead it just becomes a 4/4, and instead of Embalm becoming a white creature, becomes a black zombie human wizard with that. So, basically,
awesome.
it becomes a better version of the creature for more mana.
Because Nicol Bolas has taken it and turned it into a zombie legion or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. So instead of a 1/2 menace with this ability, guess what? Now you have a 4/4 menace, black, zombie, human. More zombie themes.
I like how it works, though, because, like, it's not oppressive because by the time you have 6 mana and this thing has died, your opponent probably doesn't have 4 or 5 cards in hand still, and if they do, like, then it makes their life very difficult if they're playing control, and anyway, they'll just have Magma Spray. And it won't be that bad. But then, like, sometimes they'll lose to it, but that's okay, because they won't lose to it all the time and hate everything or whatever.
I really, really love the design for limited play with these cards.
I think
Because
this card is constructed playable.
No, I'm not saying it's not, but I mean, the Eternalized mechanic, I'm really excited because what happens in a lot of limited games when, like, you flood out, right?
Yeah.
You just can't do things. And, like, this gives you another option later on in the game to be like, okay, well, 6 mana is a lot. You know, I played this on turn 3. I might not get to 6 mana until, like, turn 10. But when I get there, if, like, I flood out, kind of like what cycling does with the Embalm mechanic, it's the same kind of thing. Like, you can get this back. And it's kind of cool.
Is
Like,
Scry 3 worth a card? I want that one blue card to be good.
Scry 3?
Why can't it just be
I think in the right deck.
preordained?
In the right deck, it's good. You know what deck that could be good with? Sorin. Scry 3. Dang!
It's already a blue-green card. Why can't we just put... What has the busted come into playability? Let's put an Uvenwald Hydra into play with that card.
Okay.
And then hardcast Ulamog on the next turn.
This got to be something.
Yeah,
maybe
what is
like,
this? This is sweet.
This guy.
Sphinx spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Whenever Unesh, Cryo-Sphinx Sovereign, or another Sphinx enters the battlefield under your control, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles, put 1 pile into your hand and the other in your graveyard. So every Sphinx becomes... What was the Sphinx from... What was the Sphinx from the core set?
I don't know.
It's a 7 mana Sphinx that does that.
The Core Sphinx.
No, it was called... Oh man, I can't remember. I can't remember the name of it. It's going to make me so mad.
Is it
Sphinx
right
of
here?
Uthun, there it is. That's it. That's it. Sphinx of Uthun.
You can always count on the good old thesaurus.
So
All right,
every
so-
Sphinx becomes that card, which is great.
So, 6 mana, 4/4 flyer. Limited, fine. Standard, not fine.
No, I think this card's insane. I think it's standard
insane?
playable. Yeah.
You think, like, on its own, is there going to be a Sphinx deck?
I mean, if this lives, and you get 2 cards from it, the next Sphinx you play, you get 2 cards from it, and it costs less?
Yeah.
Like, what if you have Sphinx of the Final Word, too?
Yeah. I guess that's a real thing. Ramping into Sphinx of the Final Word. Oh, my God.
There's probably a 10 mana Sphinx as well, so that like you can play it like the turn or two after you play this thing.
Yeah, we've got this Sphinx. We've got some Sphinxes.
No, but there's like they're gonna print another Sphinx. It's gonna be like Sphinx of Doom and Darkness and Daddy is Sad, and it's just gonna cost like 9 mana and have ludicrous ability.
Yeah. All right.
Yo, you could really make a great Marvel deck with like Nicol Bolas God Pharaoh and Locust God, but I think Marvel is banned.
Don't worry about all that banging going on.
We were instructed not to act like we didn't notice the banging, but I just forgot.
It's getting too hard now. We're doing some renovations here at the store, so there's some.
What is
booming and
Sunset
banging.
Pyramid? Go back up.
Yes, sir. This card?
Yeah. Remove a brick counter from it. Draw a card. Oh, this card's cool. It might be a little expensive, but this card is sweet. I would certainly play this card in limited.
Is there going to be a way? Is there going to be a way? And I haven't looked at all the spoilers, so if they already did this, don't get at me too hard. Is there going to be a way to put bricks on things and to take bricks off of things? There's already the counters, you know. There's a like Quarry Hauler.
There's a card that like no counters can go on things at all.
Yeah, that white card, no poison counters.
That card's weird.
We got you, Tom. We got you. We got you. No more counters. No more counters.
Not
but is there going to be?
Daddy who? Daddy!
I don't know what just happened.
That's okay.
You just like all this loud noise, I think.
Wait, Supreme Will. Let's talk about it.
Supreme Will?
Yeah.
All right, Supreme Will. There it
Card is good, right?
Counter target spell unless the controller pays 3. Looks fine. Look at the top 4 cards of the library. Put one of them in your hand, the rest on the bottom. Yeah, card seems great. Is this going to be... This has to be a new inclusion into blue-red.
Yeah, this card's good.
Not only does it counter stuff on 3 that you really want to be doing, but also later on in the game, whether it's turn 4 or turn 5 with a negate up, you can go find your torrential.
What is Wizard's problem? What if this costs 2? Couldn't they just see how good it would be?
It'd be insane.
Like, they could just ban it.
You just put Impulse.
You just ban 5 things in 1 year.
And Mana Leak
and you're
in the same
afraid to make a
card.
Mana Leak.
Yeah. Doubling season. That would be sweet.
Why don't you just make it 3 and see what happens?
There's no way.
Maybe people would love Standard. Maybe people would be happy. You know what would happen? They would be able to counter Gideon without being dead. And be happy.
You're asking them to bring back Mana Leak that is also an Impulse.
It's not both at the same time,
and
so it's fine.
Yeah, but that's fine, but it's just good at every point. And
This
they won't
card
even
is-
bring back Lightning Bolt.
This card is still good, but like Mana Leaking or Impulse, like a 3 mana. Oh, sorry, Daddy's sleepy.
Yeah, we need to get the Yawn Protector out. So you think they should reprint Counterspell or a la Mana Leak with an upside, but they can't even, they don't even have Doomblade. We don't have Doomblade, we don't have Lightning Bolt. Like, how much different would it be right now if we had Lightning Bolt?
Be better against Gideon.
Yeah. I mean, Lightning Bolt's fine. It's one of the cards I just can't believe.
Good against 4 colors Saheeli.
Yeah. All right, what do you think of the what are we calling them? The Hour of Revelation cards, the Bantu's Last Reckoning. I'll pull this one up because Bantu's Last Reckoning was already spoiled. So we're talking about...
This card is sweet.
The alternative casting cost cards, the cards that say your land's not on tap. What's your overall opinion on these cards?
These cards are all cool.
You just think they're just built differently? Like... I just think like the new one that's like gain 20 life or basically go to 20, untap your lands. Like I think they're cool, but they're
Ketra's
definitely
Last Mercy or something like that.
Yeah, it's like weird. Like it's like a weird thing.
I think that this card specifically might not be that great.
Okay.
But I think that all the alternate casting costs are cool because they're not like, oh, you can cast this for free if you have $17 or a credit score above whatever. And, like, no. It should just be like, you can cast this, as long as it's not, you can cast this for free, we're alright.
Yeah.
Like, alternate casting costs are sweet, or like reduced casting costs, but you know what's not sweet? You may cast Wrath of God for free. That's not cool.
Well, yeah, I agree with you.
You know what is cool? That you can kill Gideon with this card.
Yeah. Triple white, let's be honest, triple white is not the easiest. But 10 or more, like, that's a lot. That's a pretty good battlefield.
You could make like a ramp deck. Would certainly be playable.
Yeah. This card seems like totally built to just beat up on Mardu vehicles. Because between clues, creatures... You don't think so? I think, like, at any point in the game...
Oh, yeah, because...
They're going to have, like, 5 to 7 permanents in play.
Yeah, but you need 10 or more non-land permanents.
Yeah, so Gideon, a token, Heart, a Clue, a Thraben Spectre...
Scrounger...
I mean, that just 5 right there, and let's say...
If those things are in play, you are dead.
Maybe,
and there's still 4 permanents
but what
away.
if you're playing? What if you're playing these and you're playing Thraben Spectres of your own? So there's 2 there. You maybe play Nissa to put plants into play. I don't know, but I mean, I think like you said, a card that clean answers Gideon.
Casting Thraben Inspector with this card. That's cool. That's cool to me.
Yeah, it seems great. Childless Tracker too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be.
What about
cool
Inspiring Statuary?
Ooh,
to help you cast this.
That could be sweet.
Puzzle Knots or
Puzzle Knots, yeah. I like that. Maybe we'll see a return of Herald of Anguish.
Yeah, you can like improvise out Reverse Engineer and then improvise out this after you have a full hand.
That'd be cool. All right, we had a request. Angel of Condemnation. Where is that? Right here.
Oh, this is a 4-mana card. This card is probably good.
Yeah.
Flying Vigilance. 2 and a white tap. Exile another target creature. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step.
So Flicker Wisp.
So it flickers something. Or exert it. Exile another target creature until Angel of Condemnation leaves the battlefield. So it's Banisher Priest, and like it has a Banisher Priest ability, and it has like a flicker ability.
It can keep doing it. It can have like 3 creatures under it.
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy, right?
It's cool if you have 2 of them and you exert one to. Oh no, that doesn't work because then the thing comes back. Oh, I was gonna say you can like exert it, exile their thing, then use another one to blink it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't work. Also, this is like expensive.
Yeah, see, someone was just asking that question in the chat. It is expensive, but I think it is playable, and I think it's reasonable. Usually we've seen abilities like this. Either the card itself costs way too much to just get into play, or the abilities cost way too much to be able to like realistically activate.
If you have 2 of them, you can kill stuff for 6 mana.
Yeah.
You go exert Angel of Condemnation, exile your thing.
While that triggers on the stack. Exile
use the first ability on the original Angel, and you'll just be...
But I mean, 2 cards, 6 mana,
but like, what are you
Angels,
doing? Just attack them for 6!
Yeah, I know. I think like you could be doing it.
Card is sweet though. This card is good. I like it.
I guess there's a world where you need to just like get rid of a prince forever.
A prince?
Yeah.
Oh, Ormondal?
A profane.
I was like, what do you mean a prince?
Come on, man. We're going back to the Aladdin. I just keep going back and forth.
It's a whole new world. Angels flickering other angels for gross mana inefficiency.
You got one more. Let's do one more.
No, let's just do all the blue cards. Come on.
No, we're not doing every blue card.
Let's do the ones that are in Spanish at least, because I don't know what they say. And I want to know.
Invocations. These look sweet.
Are those all the invocations or already spoiled?
Thoughtseize. The Locust God.
Thoughtseize. Armageddon.
Threads
of Disloyalty. Omniscience.
Doomsday. Boil.
Through the Breach.
I'm so happy Through the Breach. This picture
the
looks
Scorpion
sweet.
God. Sunder. Forbid. Diabolic Edict. Blood Moon. Damnation. Desolation Angel. No Mercy. Slaughter Pact. Opposition. Capsize. What a weird one that is. Avatar of Woe. Choke. Shatterstorm. Lord of Extinction.
So, thank you, Wizards. Just when you thought it was terrible to lose to a Soul Ring Unlimited, now you will get Capsize locked out of a sealed game.
What else is... oh. Hey, turn 1, Fan Bearer. Turn 2, Ta Crop Elite, or whatever the thing is called.
Yeah.
The Ta Crop... Whatever the 2-1 is. Skirmisher.
Sure. Okay.
Turn 3, some other creature, preferably one that makes a token. Turn 4, Opposition. Upkeep, tap you out. Upkeep, tap you out. Upkeep, tap you out.
Oh, wow. Opposition with the Cat Daddy. Put 2
Yeah,
little
turn
kitties.
5, Regal Caracol.
No, the green one, the 2/2. Goes curve.
Yeah. That's a combo.
Yeah. That's sick.
It's a 3-color combo, though.
Yeah. Real quick, for those of you that are some old school players, I just want to remind you of a cool Inquest combo here. We've got Sunder returns all lands to their owner's battlefield. You could do the old Sunder Blood Oath. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's sweet. So going over the invocations, just lastly, I think they look great. I think now after they've kind of like been out for a while and not just everyone saw them from the last set and was like, oh, I'm not sure, people are kind of falling in love with these things. So they did a good job with them. The artwork looks great. Let's leave off with...
Wait, let's see some of these Spanish cards that I don't know what they say. Because it makes me mad when I don't know what they say.
That's fine.
We already talked about this card.
Did we?
I'm sure we did.
We did?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you got one more card.
Plus, they banned Marvel, so there's nothing to say about it anymore.
Oh, whoa.
Slide
There's
down.
some stuff. There's some
Slide
stuff
down.
to see.
What does that do?
All right, this is the last one. Here we go. Fraying Sanctity.
At the beginning of each end step, enchanted player puts X cards from the top of his or her library into their graveyard with X number of cards that went to their graveyard from anywhere this turn. What? Wait.
So, like, mill, creature destruction, discard. That's pretty...
Oh, wait. So if you mill them for 4...
It will mill them for 4,
four.
then next turn for 4+.
No. It won't mill them. It won't do anything next turn. But it will mill. If you mill them for 4, it'll mill them for 4 again.
Okay.
It's every turn. And then if next turn you mill them for 4, it'll mill them for 4 again.
Oh, because it happens at the end step. Okay.
Each
Gotcha.
end step.
Gotcha.
So like if you...
Bless you.
I'm okay.
Boil is unfair and limited. Yeah, the boil can be unfair.
Boyle is stupid.
Play against them. Mono blue.
I do not like how the invocations look. Complaint department. You can file
Yeah.
through file for a compensation on Moto because you don't know like how the invocations look.
They'll send
Did
you
you
normal
see that
copies.
when Ben Stark filed for compensation? Reason why opponent had 2 glory bringers.
Oh my god.
It's funny.
That's crazy. So, could this be something? Could we have Miller time? Or is this just come
This
on?
card
man?
is cool. Maybe
It
we have
is
to look at
cool.
another one
Yeah.
just because of how cool it is.
It was really cool, and it was a great way to segue into our next topic, which is I've lost that love and feeling. Marvel is gone. You're happy. What do you want to talk about, Kevin?
One day the show's not going to be on. Never mind. I'm not even going to say it. It was stupid. I'll tell you about it afterwards.
Okay, show's not going to be on. That's tomorrow. The show won't be on. So okay.
No, I mean one when it's scheduled to be on.
Okay.
It's whatever. It's too funny, but I don't know how many lines it crosses, so I won't say it.
Okay.
But anyway, what are we talking about?
Talking about Marvel, Ben. You got what you wanted.
It's gone.
You win a Grand Prix with it, and you're happy it's gone.
I don't know if I'm happy it's gone. I think that it really sucks that they had to ban another card, but I think they were correct probably. I was talking to Andrew Brown this weekend. Play design, you know. 2-time Pro Tour top 8 competitor, Wizards employee. Super cool person.
Okay. All of the above. Check.
Yeah. I was talking to him, and he's like, yeah, they had to do it, but they weren't happy about it. But like, just made people hated it. People hated
getting banned.
I don't know if people hated it getting banned.
I think so.
I
think
saw
a lot
way
of
more people go, thank God, thank you. Now we can play standard again.
I'm a little sad. I invested in
Nobody plays standard.
I invested
at
in the
all.
entire deck, and now I have to get a new deck. Makes me a
I
little
wouldn't
sad.
really call that a name drop. I actually know this person, and I was actually speaking to them, and I was complimenting them on how
Get him, Corey.
healthy
Get
and happy
him.
they look.
Get him. Yeah, I'm not too sure how I feel about the ban. I'm kind of sad it's gone, but at the same time, I'm really happy because it opens up the design space for people to be able to brew decks, which, boom, look at the metagame right now. We've got 4 decks that are almost 10% or above, which I think is great. And then even the next line, we have decks that are real percentages here. 8%, 7%, 4%. And mind you, take this with a grain of salt. This is online. And once we have a standard Grand Prix / the Invitational coming up in 2 weeks, I think that will be more reminiscent of exactly what the meta
Where
is
is
going
Blue-Red
on.
Control? Why is it gone?
Because it's not great. I don't understand this, but like one of the decks that it was doing really good versus was Marvel supposedly, but then when like the statistics were coming out,
joke.
Yeah, it was like good for Marvel. So I think less people are playing it
You
now
just
because they thought it was good.
Ulamog and they die.
Sure.
So
But
here we
that
go.
doesn't
Here's the 5 O's. What do we got? What is blue, black, red?
Blue, black, red. That's control. Blue, red. That's blue, red control.
No, it's not. It's my stupid zombies deck.
Oh, it's Kevin's deck. He made it.
I didn't make it, but I played it and talked about it.
Oh, okay. So that's your deck. All right.
It is my deck. I played this in a tournament, and I'm really famous, so it's my deck.
By playing in a tournament, do you mean showing up and then?
I played. I almost cashed.
Oh, okay. So do you say you deserve to call this your deck?
I
Or
wouldn't say
have you
deserve.
earned it?
I wouldn't say deserve.
Have you earned it?
You can say earn. Earn is fine.
Earn is fine. Yeah,
I talked to Ben
that's a good
Lundquist
point.
about this exact conversation. I was
Okay.
like, one time I had this conversation with Jerry, and then I talked about it for a while. with
Famous
Ben
or
Lundquist.
notorious? That's great. Yeah, that's a good point. Blue-red, really bad versus Bristling Hydra. We've definitely seen more Bristling Hydras now with the Teamer Energy
You
deck.
can certainly counter it, right?
Yeah, you can, but you usually have to like tap out to like deal with the threats on like 2s and 3s. Like Long Tusk
Okay.
Cubs, Refiners, Whirler Virtuosos. You like have to deal with those cards. Sometimes you tap out for Sweltering Suns and then they play Bristling Hydra. And then the game's over.
Oh, wow, that's a funny question.
What is it?
Now that Majors is going to WotC, can we expect another offbeat enchantment for Dan to lose to in top 8 of a GP?
Oh no. Well, I hope I
it's
hope
this
so.
stupid card that we just talked about.
The mill card.
The mill card.
Again?
Yeah, I'm going to play it, and Dan's going to lose to me.
Okay.
And Majors will be happy.
Well, congratulations to Majors for going to WotC. I heard
that's
scuttlebutt of this weekend, but I wasn't A, sure if I should even talk about it, or B, if it was 100%. So congrats to him. I'm a little sad for Jerry because now he just keeps losing everybody from the Game podcast.
Well, he'll have to ask someone to be his co-host.
There you go.
Oh, Majors was like, oh, that's what he was talking about. Because at the GP, he was like, I was like, what's going on with the show? Like, I want to go on or whatever. And he's like, well, things have been kind of weird lately. And then he was like, oh, that's just like a story for later on. I'll tell you later or whatever. And I was like, all right, whatever.
You never got around to
I
telling
never
him.
got around to seeing him again.
Gotcha.
But that's obviously what he meant.
The GM podcast, and now it's just the G podcast.
It should be the Daddy and Jerry podcast.
You know, until now, I never really knew that the game was like Jerry, Andrew, and Mike. And
Jerry, Andrew, and Mike. Yeah,
and
that's
now
exactly
it's just
what
the
it is.
G podcast.
It's been that the entire time. You didn't realize that?
No, I didn't.
It's super smart.
All right, well, now that Marvel's gone, we've got the new standard metagame here. What are you looking to play? Are you going to be looking into some kind of Jeskai, Grixis tempo deck, or are we just going to shoot the dart at one of these decks here and decide, hey, this is the best thing we could be doing before the next set comes out?
I'm probably going to play Teamer Energy, I guess, for the first tournament at least. Ah! Give me back my fidget spinner.
Nope.
It prevents me from picking my nose, which is great.
That's true, but you lost the spinner, man. Cheon is sure.
Oh, Pete's on play design, too. Pete Ingram.
Yeah.
He's great. He was there this weekend, too. I got to talk to him. To see so many awesome people. Vegas was great.
Yeah, Vegas was great.
I got to see Andrea Biaggi.
It's true.
I got to meet Cassius Marsh.
Yeah, speaking of Cassius Marsh, I'm gonna tell this story because we're going down the line. We want to talk a little bit more about new standard, but we'll save that probably for next week. We have some more spoilers,
Yeah.
and maybe there'll be some more stuff coming out online. So let's finish this week.
The Invitational is before Hour comes out, right?
Yes, it's the last week of this month.
Okay, which means that it will be just this format.
Pump your brakes.
Minus
Back
one.
to Cassius Marsh. So, I decide after one of the rounds to go get a drink and I leave the hall. Which, by the way, the hall's huge. Channel Fireball, you did a fantastic job of putting the hall together, having enough vendors, having enough bathrooms. As Kevin tries to get his spinner, be good. And I leave, and I go get a drink, and I see this tattooed guy walking around with a dog. And it didn't hit me until I thought, like, I saw him tatted up, and I saw his chain of 1992, and I was like, oh, that's Cassius Marsh.
Yeah.
And it dinged with me because Wizards did a good job. They featured him, like, round 1 or round 2 of the Grand Prix.
Yep.
Got him on coverage. Kudos to them for actually figuring out that is good for the game, like we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Way better for the game than anything that the actual Magic players can do.
So I make it a point as I see you come around the corner, and I go, Kevin, why don't we go up to him and just say hi? There was nobody over there, too. It was like, really like desolate. There's just like, he's talking to the lady, paying for his food, nothing's going on. And you're like, not really ready. And then you made some line about having a coffee.
I did have a coffee.
To be fair, you did have a coffee. So Starbucks was like 20 feet away. And so I'm standing there waiting. Kevin leaves to go to Starbucks. Then when he comes out, and Starbucks is pretty busy, he like cricks his neck around the corner, sees that I am like waiting for him to like just have us introduce ourselves.
Out so we can go talk to Cash.
Yeah, and you just take off and scamper away.
Out the door, out the other side. Yes, that's exactly what happened.
I've never seen you more like, I don't want to say it's nervous, but like starstruck in a way as well.
I was a little starstruck, and like, I don't know, I just didn't really want to like, I don't know, I understand that like Magic, so when I play Magic, like I expect to talk to people, like I expect to be, I'm famous, I'm I'm a celebrity.
You're a celebrity.
I expect people to come up to me and talk to me when I play Magic.
Okay.
Like I'm ready. I'm in the like social mindset. I'm ready to talk to people, and like it's just something that I experience, and like is part of a tournament for me. So if people are like, "Hey, will you sign this?" or "I'm a big fan" or whatever, I love that stuff, and I'm ready for all of that. It's always great to meet people and talk to people.
Okay.
But like he's not here. He's here to like have a good time and enjoy it. Like I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to let the dude eat in peace.
Yeah.
Also, I was just kind of like,
I mean,
I didn't know what to say. I was like, oh man, I'm a big Seahawks fan, and like I watched you play, and I root for you and stuff. So like, it's kind of weird doing, just being like, hey, I have a huge fan. But,
yeah, but I mean, like, I think the same regard that you're used to that, I believe at this point he's kind of used to that. And
yeah, I'd imagine he wouldn't get upset about it.
Yeah.
But like, I'd think too much about everything.
When you scampered away, I went up to him.
I scampered away. I really did too.
You did.
I literally hid behind the pillar to see what you were doing, and then ran outside and went and smoked.
Yeah.
It was great.
So when you did that, I took it upon myself to just introduce myself, and he was very approachable, and it was nice. I got to talk to him a little bit about just Magic in general and about Seattle, and he was like asking me where I play, and we talked about the Mox Boarding House where he plays from time to time. And so, spoiler alert, we may have Cassius Marsh on the show sometime this year, because he said he'd be more than happy and willing to come on.
I met him later on after that. I was standing outside smoking a cigarette with some Seattle guys who, like, knew him, kinda, because he would come and play at Boarding House, and the other one, a place called Shane's, I think they said was the other store that he goes to. But they said that they're like, oh, we play with Cassius Marsh sometimes, and then he was walking his dog outside, and he came up and said hello, and I was like, oh, good to meet you, man. I'm a big Seattle fan, and I follow your career and stuff and all that, and that was cool. And I talked to him a little bit, and I talked to him about your stupid doubling season deck. I told him
Which is great, by the way.
That he plays like the 4-color version with no black, I think.
Okay.
And yours was like no blue. I said, oh, my friend had like Sorin and Lingering Souls in it. And he's like, oh. He's like, you can't play Soul Ring in Modern. I was like, no, Sorin, like the Planeswalker. And he's like, oh, yeah. And he doubles all the Lingering Souls. And I was like, yeah, it's sweet. We just talked about that a little bit. And then he headed back in after that.
It puts a smile on my face that when Kevin is at his weakest and kind of like most vulnerable point in his life, speaking to someone that he holds in the highest regard, that he would think of me. That does
Well,
put a
I
smile on
knew
my
that
face, little guy.
the doubling season thing was just a
So that was your quick
conversation
safe
with
zone.
him.
That was your safe zone
Yeah, yeah.
conversation. You didn't want to bring up some daddy stories to tell him.
Like I don't know. I didn't want to talk about Blue Moon. Because
You could
I
be
don't think
like,
it's very
"You're a
good.
Super Bowl champ, but I'm a Grand Prix champ."
I don't know if he is a Super Bowl champ.
I think so.
I-
How long
I
has he
think
been on
he's
the
too
team?
Young.
Is he?
I think he just got into the league like 2 years ago. Or
Oh,
whatever.
really? Oh, that stinks.
I don't know. I have to double check, but I'm
I
pretty
thought you
sure.
said you followed his career.
I'm pretty
We're calling
sure
the daddy out here.
this is his first year in Seattle or second year in Seattle.
Okay, fair. On average,
Anyway, the
Watch a lot
Seahawks
of-
won the Super Bowl in 2013.
yeah,
That was 4 years ago.
yeah. He
So-
didn't look that old. He did look like in his 20s.
His Twitter handle is 91, I think. So
92.
He was born in 92?
92. 92. He's got tatted on his knuckles. 92 gold chain.
Oh, okay.
So-
91 is his number.
Yeah, that must be.
He's number 91.
92 probably was taken.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
92 used to be a really good player, but I think he left. Brandon Mabane, he's a big defensive lineman. He was 92 for a while.
All right. Well, what do you?
KerwinsGameStore.com is the online source for your gaming needs. We stock sealed products and card singles for Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Weiss Schwartz. We also carry singles for HeroClix and Star Wars Destiny. With our free economy shipping on all orders and responsive customer service, you get more of the games you want hassle-free. Shop KerwinsGameStore.com today and see why we are the best place in gaming.